Deadpool's hero's journey from Once Upon a Deadpool. Who is Deadpool? Well, he is a hero and a villain at the same time with crazy powers. With his powers, he was born to fight, and he has really fast reflexes, super healing ability, and super fitness. He's considered a hero and a villain at the same time. In his battles to stop bad, he also kills and harms people. So that's kind of traits that you would see more in a villain, someone who's harming the opponent. But he's also harming them for a reason to try and stop the evil. So he's a little more on the hero side, but he still has that villain in him. Now, his early childhood. His mother and his father were together when his mother died of cancer. And once she died, the father decided to leave him. So Deadpool said it was a very scarring childhood, but just because it was scarring, he still makes jokes about it because that's how he copes with his trauma. Now, the call to adventure. In the first movie, Deadpool gets engaged and married to a woman named Vanessa. But shortly after, he's diagnosed with cancer, stage 4 cancer. Now, he volunteers for this treatment that will supposedly stop the development of the cancer, which could cure him. But that gave him powers, so he had the super healing ability and powers like the Wolverine because they took DNA samples from him to create this sort of treatment. So his cancer had stopped progressing because his body just automatically is healing all of the time. So there was no way it could progress or continue to kill him. But it still wasn't cured, so it wasn't gone forever. If his powers were to be taken away, the cancer could come back. So he kind of had this new life. He decided, you know what, I have these powers, I should use them for good. Or bad, he kind of does both. So in this movie, one of the first scenes is the death of his wife. She was shot in the heart, and though Deadpool tried, he couldn't save her. So he said there was no point in living and tried to harm himself and kill himself, but he couldn't because of his super healing powers. Now, he could die, he just couldn't stay dead. So he needed some other new life. So the X-Men came and said, well, you know what, we can give you this new life. We can give you this hero life that you are trying to achieve, but you can't hurt anybody. Because if you do that, then you're considered a villain. So they said to him, this is your fresh start. And he did a little bit of training, and then they got a call. This kid named Russell, who has powers with lava and fire from his hands, is trying to harm people. So they get called to kind of contain him and discuss the situation with him. And Deadpool tries to be a hero and reason things out. He kind of takes control of the situation. And then the villain in him said this isn't going by fast enough and tried to harm people. So the X-Men let him get arrested along with the kid named Russell because they both harmed people in that scene. So they were sent to the icebox, and that is a place where they control the powers of heroes, and they put this necklace sort of thing around them, and that dampens their powers so that they can be easily contained in this jail cell, essentially. So the challenges or trials. With that necklace sort of thing around his neck, his powers were gone, which meant his cancer was coming back to get him. And so he's in the icebox with Russell, and they're not having a good time. They don't have powers. Like, Deadpool is slowly dying when Cable breaks in. And at first it appears that Cable's after Deadpool because there's a lot of people after Deadpool. He's hurt a lot of people. But it's turned out he was more after Russell. So after this battle scene, one of the walls in this jail blows up, and Deadpool's collar flies off, so he has his powers back, but they get out of jail. Russell didn't, though. So it was told that he's in danger, so he needed to be moved to a different jail cell. This is the point in the movie where Deadpool hits rock bottom because he can't be a hero. His wife is dead, and he can't save this kid who's innocent. So he finds his way back to the place where he lives in New York, and he decides, well, if Cable's coming after Russell to kill him, he's not going to stop until he's dead. So he puts together this team, and they go to save Russell. But Russell has made a few friends, one of which is the Juggernaut, a huge killing machine, if you say so. And Russell says that, oh, you didn't have my back, so me and this Juggernaut guy are going to go and kill the man who hurt me. So Russell wants to kill the man who owned the orphanage that he was at. So they go and they fight. They fight Cable and Russell. And so the three teams are clashing, but Russell and Juggernaut team wins. Everybody's down and they get away. So while the team is healing and resting, they're talking with Blind Al, who is one of the other characters in the show that you see a few times. She's giving him advice when the special weapon comes in, and that is Cable. He joins the team. He joins the group because he can't kill Russell alone. He said that once Russell kills the orphanage man, then he gets a taste for it and he goes around and just hurts people. And one day he kills Cable's wife and daughter. So Cable, with his power or his machine, comes back to the past with his time-traveling watch, and he set out to kill him so that his family stays alive. But he can't do it alone, so he asks for their help. Deadpool, though, says, well, I'm going to be a hero, so you can't hurt the kid. Like, give me time to convince him not to kill the man. So they have to go over, but they still have to fight the Juggernaut because he's protecting Russell from getting hurt. So they get help from the X-Men team, and they have to stop Russell. The Abyss of Temptation, they must fight this kid. He's not listening to them. Cable is very much tempted to kill Russell. They're tempted to harm him because then they can just get the battle over with. But Deadpool has to stop it. He says, this kid doesn't deserve to be hurt. This kid doesn't deserve to die. Like, he has to stop it. So Deadpool is trying to convince Russell to not hurt the man, but it's not working. So Deadpool says if anyone's going to get hurt or if anyone's going to die, it's him. So he takes one of the collar things he had from the icebox jail cell and puts it around his neck. So now all of his powers are gone. And Cable is fed up, and so he takes his gun and is about to shoot Russell, but Deadpool jumps in front of him and takes the bullet himself. So he gets shot in the heart, and slowly, dramatically, he dies and goes into heaven and sees Vanessa. But she says to him, it's not time to come to heaven with me, because Cable rewinds the time and the bullet misses Deadpool's heart because he aims differently. And so Deadpool doesn't die and Deadpool is saved. And Russell got distracted when Deadpool was about to be shot, so he didn't end up killing the orphanage man. So Russell is saved, Cable's family is saved, Deadpool is saved. It seems the whole future is saved. And the Master of Two Worlds, Russell comes with Deadpool and the rest of the team. Now, Deadpool finally got his moment. Deadpool's now the hero. He didn't hurt anybody in the process of saving this kid, mostly. He's considered a hero. And they're like, well, we got this team, we can go and we can stop more crime and we can be better. But Deadpool, there's still a part of him that's missing. Vanessa was dead, and that's his everything. They were planning on starting a family and having such this great life. So he steals the time machine watch and goes back in time and saves Vanessa. So his world is saved, Cable's world saved, Russell's world is saved. The world is saved, and he's the master of the hero world, the villain world, being a husband, and time traveling.